Welcome, everybody. This is the Power Podcasters Power Hour presented by Paton. Thank you, Lane Snyder, for totally screwing up my introduction with that great suggestion. Anyway, I'm really excited. I've got an amazing guest for you, a good friend of mine. We've known each other like forever, almost before there was an internet even, I think, probably. But his forte is big ticket items, and he's been around the internet marketing scene forever. He's talked on tons of stages. He's a wealth of knowledge. I'm really excited to have him joining us today. So I say a big welcome to Glen Hopkins. All right, keep it down, everybody. Keep it down.
I love the effects. Hey, Scott. Thanks for having me on board here. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to having our chat.
Yes, so let's just dig into it. Here is the system that everybody's been teaching forever. You have what's called a lead magnet. I feel like I should be doing like this or something. And basically, you have a site, you have some piece of information, and you're going to exchange that piece of information for an email address. So this is creating a funnel. You get a lot of people to get top, and smaller as you get buyers of different levels. So the idea is if we give you a report, how to podcast for free, you download the report, I now have your email, I can send you messages on an ongoing basis. Those are called autoresponders because you do it once, and every 3 days, for example, it sends out an email to your prospect. And then you give them like a $9 item to buy or a $25 item to buy. And after they buy that, you get really excited because then you move on to selling them a $100 or a $200 or a $300 item. Could be a video course, for example, so like an ebook video course, then maybe a group coaching thing, and then a one-on-one coaching thing, and then maybe a weekend in Hawaii with you masterminding, and then a week in Bali or Mexico with you creating your business or whatever, and it just gets bigger ticket items. And so what Glen's going to talk about, I think, is that's probably not the best way to do it, right, Glen?
Yeah, well, it's interesting, Scott, because that's often referred to as the ascension model, where you start off really small and gradually ascend your customer up through the line, selling them bigger and better products and services as you go. And it's the whole idea behind it is to build up that know, like, and trust, because it's said that people aren't going to buy from you until they actually know, like, and trust you, which of course makes sense.
Yes.
The problem as I see it, though, is I think a great deal of info marketers and experts alike, they're unwittingly setting themselves up for failure by listening to all the so-called gurus and what they're preaching, and instead of actually doing what it is they're doing. And what I mean by that is, you see, the type of funnel that you refer to is often referred to as a tripwire funnel, right? That's what we're hearing a lot of buzz around today is the tripwire. And, I would suggest that the tripwire type funnel, as good as it can be for some, for most people, it's really doing them more harm than good. I mean, there's much better ways to create a significant amount of windfall, financial windfall in your business by sort of turning things around.
Okay, cool. All right. So, well, let's talk about what's an alternative to that, because most people, that's all they hear is you start small, go big. To me, it seems like an awful lot of work, and then it's not just creating the different size packages, but also maintaining the support for each size. Because if you've got like 1,000 people buy your $7 book, well, 1% emails you every week. That's 10 emails you have to deal with. Right. Is that 100 emails, whatever it is, right? So, and nobody is going to understand everything, and you're going to have one customer at least out of every 100 or 200 that's constantly barraging you with questions that actually probably are irrelevant to the topic of your product, right? It's just they finally found somebody that they can glom onto who will answer their questions, and so they just send you like 30 emails a day. I've had that happen to me. So.
Well, there definitely are a number of perils involved with setting up low-ticket funnels and tripwire-style offers. I mean, I think really what people need to do, our listeners today have to ask themselves is, what's it costing me to set up these types of funnels? Because here's the thing, guys. I mean, if you're an expert and you're selling low-ticket products or services in hopes of turning those buyers into higher-paying clients, I think you need to stop. You need to stop and think about what it's costing you when you give away your expertise for literally just pennies on the dollar. And I should say it's not just monetary either. I think it goes much deeper than that.
Okay, so yeah, let's get into that a little bit more. Like, what would be sort of the system that you would suggest people get into?
That's a great question, Scott, and I think that we all need to sort of ask ourselves about the type of marketing that we're doing. I mean, I think really what we need to do is take a look at what some of the rarely discussed problems that we come across when selling low-ticket products and services. And then later maybe what we can do is talk a little bit about how we can quickly turn that all around, enabling you to actually make a heck of a lot more money a lot faster. Does that sound good? Like if we take that kind of a path?
Sure, let's start that way.
All right, so one of the first things that comes to mind for me when setting up these types of low-ticket tripwire funnels, and I should just sort of premise this by letting you guys know that I've been doing this for 15 years now, and I've sold a lot of low-ticket front-end offers. So I'm speaking from a whole lot of experience. And I'm not saying this is the only way to do things. I'm just saying that we really need to step back, look what we're doing, and ask ourselves if it's really working for us. And a few of the things you need to ask yourself about selling low-ticket offers, first of all, is the amount of time. You mentioned this, Scott. How much time does it take you to sell those low-ticket products and services? I mean, typically it requires you to set up an entire sales funnel to go with that low-ticket offer. And setting up that sales funnel, it's very, very time-consuming. And I mean, Scott, very well, and I'm sure many of the people listening today as well. You need to create your products first and foremost. You need to create the front-end product for the funnel. You need to create your upsells. You need to create your downsells, and oftentimes there's multiple upsells and downsells involved in that funnel. Plus, you need to build the web pages to go along with that. The sales copy, you have to, maybe create sales videos if you're doing video sales letters. There's multiple email follow-ups to write. You have to write a follow-up sequence for each and every one of those products. You have to set up a merchant account. You have to have a members area, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, the list really goes on and on and on, and it, honestly, it gets kind of tiring just even talking about, let alone having to do it. There's a lot of work involved in setting up these types of funnels.
Yeah, there's a lot of work involved. It can be totally overwhelming, and if you're an expert yoga instructor or jeweler or a speaker on any topic, that's what you're interested in. You're not interested in, like what Glenn and I are interested in, is building businesses online. You just want to do your thing, whatever your thing is, which means you now have to take whatever type of brain you've got, whether it's super creative or super logical or whatever your topics are that you're interested in. You got to turn it off, and then you got to get into all of this writing stuff that's not motivational. It's email autoresponders, or it's sales letters. And I mean, I'm a copywriter. I could make the argument it's very motivational, but it's not the same as when you're up on stage in front of 500 people talking and getting your message out. So I think what happens is everyone kind of gets sort of overwhelmed, and then they get stuck in this no man's land where you have everything sort of halfway done with no real clue as to what to do, because it's not their area of expertise.
Exactly, and I mean, and doing all that, it takes a lot of time, and I mean a lot of time. And every minute that you spend doing all of this, it's really all spent on nothing more than a hunch. I mean, hoping that the marketplace is going to like what you have to offer and then actually buy it. And that, my friend, that really is a crapshoot. I mean, yes, there's a possibility of making your offer better and converting better over time if you're lucky, if you're able to drive a lot of traffic and do a lot of split testing and pay for that traffic. But that's really only if you're lucky, and that's to me that's a big risk to be taking because again, time equals money.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. And
Yeah.
as you said, there's lots of different ways that people can make money online. And we're not saying that there aren't people who sell $7 products all the time and make, thousands of sales, because there are. But how do you get to that point? Is that a hard, arduous, 5-year journey to be able to sell lots of $7 products because you finally figured out who the market is, you finally figured out what they want, you finally figured out how to get it to them, you finally figured out how to write your sales letter, how to write your emails, how to do all of those things. And there's got to be an easier, quicker way.
Yeah, I think there's definitely is a faster path to the money. I mean, if that's what you're looking for, and I think, it's pretty safe to say if you're in business, your ultimate goal is to make a profit, right? So do you want to sell a bunch of $7 ebooks, or do you want to sell some, tens of thousands of dollars worth of different products and services, some premium packages? It really all depends what you're looking for, but I would be willing to guess that most people are looking to make a handsome profit in a short amount of period of time as possible, while of course servicing their audience, right? So, having said all that, I think there's a lot to be said about self-worth as well, and you really have to measure your own self-worth when you look at the price tags that you place on your products and services. I mean, if you're discounting your products and services, I think you're discounting your value. The truth of the matter is, people, they don't value shit if they get it for free. I mean, we all know that. People value what they pay for, right? And the more they pay for it, the more they pay attention to it. So if you want people to pay attention to you, to pay attention to your products and services and actually consume them and use them and get results, the more skin they have in the game, in other words, the more they've paid for it, the more they're going to value it, the more they're going to use it.
No, I think you're absolutely right. There's tons of people that pay very little for stuff and then they never open it. And you actually remind me of a survey that the Internet Marketing Center did when I was there 10 years ago. And they called up people that had bought their $300 internet marketing course, which was basically 2 massive binders. I could actually go and I still have them. And because I figure in a couple hundred years they'll be worth a lot of money. This is how they did it, Grandpa? I can't believe that. But anyway, so they actually talked to this one guy, and they said, did you get the package? Yes, I did. Great. Well, what did you think? Oh, I haven't opened it yet. You haven't opened it yet? No. And it came out like, where is it? It's in the garage on a shelf. And it was like, well, do you want a refund? No. I've got this course. I'm so happy I have this course. And once I get a little bit of time, I'm going to open it. I'm going to start my online business, and I'm just really excited about the whole thing. In other words, go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's the interesting thing. I mean, it's amazing what people will invest in without actually investing in themselves. I mean, the level of commitment oftentimes is not there. So, that's a whole other story, though. But ultimately, I think, the more somebody invests in something, the greater the likelihood is that they're actually going to use it and consume it. There's less chance that they're going to park it in their garage and never touch it, right? Or hide it on a back shelf somewhere. I mean, if you look at the extreme of something like a low ticket like ebooks or a special report, or as they're also often referred to now as the Tripwire, right? I mean, how many of those do you have sitting on your hard drive that you've never even opened up? I mean, and then ask yourself on the flip side, when was the last time you invested, say, $5,000 or $10,000 on something that you never even looked at? And I'm willing to guess, Scott, that for you and for most of the people on this call, probably the answer is never. Yeah. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, if you spent $100,000 and got a franchise of some sort, you wouldn't be standing around thinking, well, I've got the piece of paper, it's up on the shelf in the garage, and I'll get around to opening that business soon.
Right, exactly. And so the same thing goes for our customers. I mean, the more they invest in themselves through you and your products and services, the more action they're going to take, and of course the better the results are going to be that they actually get. So I think that the price of your products, you need to price your products and your value really according to the results that your customers are going to get from their investment with you. Okay, so ask yourself when you're pricing your products, what kind of value and result will my customer get when they actually implement, when they actually take action on what it is I have to offer them. And that'll give you a much better barometer, if you will, for trying to figure out what your actual value is and what you should be selling your products and services for. And I'm willing to guess that most people on this call today who are an expert of some sort and can actually deliver value and help their clients and customers get a certain result are worth a heck of a lot more than $7, right?
Yeah, I would say absolutely. And as you were talking too, the other thing that I thought was most people, certainly most people that I've worked with, have a very poor idea, I want to say, of what their value is. They don't really know, they really don't. I mean, what the value, here's the answer. The value is what you say it is. But most of us don't have the self-confidence or the self-esteem or the intestinal fortitude to say it's $10,000 or it's this or it's that, right? And I was talking to a fellow that I know.
A big piece of it is the mindset, right?
Yes.
People need to get over their fears and charge what they're actually worth. And you'll find that when you do that, people respect you more. And again, going back to that, they're going to take action on what you share with them. And again, I'm speaking from a lot of experience here, guys. I've been doing this for 15 years, like I mentioned earlier, and I've sold a lot of low-ticket front-end offers, and I still do have some in my mix. Don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying that low-ticket is absolutely a no-no. My concern for much of the marketplace right now is I see people focusing on nothing more than selling small, low-ticket offers without including some sort of a premium package, okay? Now, however you get to that premium package or get your customer to that premium package, whether you drive them through an ascension funnel or bring them right to the premium package right from the get-go, that's completely up to you, but never forget to have that premium package in place. And don't focus 80% of your attention on the low ticket. Instead, focus 80% of your attention and your efforts on the premium package, because that's where the vast majority of your profits are going to come from, right?
Yeah.
And Scott, I also want to just sort of touch on the whole idea of frustration and overwhelm. I mean, these are two things that a lot of entrepreneurs face on a day-to-day basis. We're overwhelmed. I mean, most information marketers, they're on that never-ending treadmill. They create that new product, then they create the entire sales funnel like we talked about, and then they go through the entire launch process. And if anyone here has ever done a launch, you know how much work that is. It can be very rewarding, but it's a whole heck of a lot of work. And the thing is, they do it over and over and over again. It's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And I can tell you that is a surefire way to burn yourself out really, really fast. Not to mention, it's a surefire way to burn out your audience really fast when you keep launching over and over again and essentially recreating yourself over and over again. It really confuses your marketplace.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. And the last thing I want is someone sending me an email asking me for $7 every week.
Yeah. And the other thing too, of course, is the frustration. Let's just say you do a launch and it goes really well, and say you sell 2,000 new widgets, right? And say you sell them at $10 a piece. What I would say is congratulations. Now you have 2,000 potential new headaches to deal with. And I say that half jokingly, but I don't want it to make it sound awful the way I'm referring to my customers. But the fact is when you sell low ticket products and services, a lot of those buyers, unfortunately, they become a bit of a headache. I mean, 90% of them, they get into your not 90%, but a lot of people come into your help desk, and 90% of those people that come in with questions inundating your help desk, of those 2,000 new people that you get, I mean, just to back up, when you do a launch, you get 2,000 new customers on board that have bought a $7 widget, you get a whole heck of a lot of customer support. And the vast majority of those people in their customer support submitting help desk tickets, they're asking you what their login or their password is for their product or service that they just bought, which to me is really frustrating because, I mean, are you kidding me? They just created it themselves, right? So they should know that. So I mean, it's a different kind of mindset, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. the low ticket buyer has a different mindset, a different mentality than a high ticket buyer. Okay, I mean, of course, there's also those serial refunders that you see, right? These whiners complaining that, you know, the life-changing information that you gave them is not even worth their $10, and, you know, they're asking for a refund. And that's really sad, because when you think about it, the information that you've worked so hard to give them, that you know can have a huge impact on their lives if they actually took action on it, they don't even consider it to be worth $10. And I think that's because they were never committed in the first place. They were never committed to taking any action to get from where they are to where they want to go. And to me, as an expert, as a entrepreneur, as somebody on the other side giving away my value, that's really insulting. I mean, this is information that could potentially change somebody's life.
Well, I'm still on the customer service thing, and I think you made just a great point there about here's something that can change your lives and you're not paying attention to it. That's huge.
Yeah.
I bought a video service, a membership for an ongoing video service, and I got one of the videos back, and I thought, I made a mistake. I made the mistake in the information. They put it all together, and I thought, no worries, I'm just going to open up iMovie or something, fix it. So I opened up iMovie, I fixed my mistake, rendered it, put it up, and the voices were out of sync. So I didn't realize that it was me and what I did, and I could be wrong, and maybe it wasn't, but I'm pretty sure it was me that did something that put the voice out of sync. So the lips move, then they stop moving, and then the voice goes, right? So I put in a ticket, and right away, because I thought, oh, this must be them, right, because here's their video. And they said, oh, they got back to me, we're looking into it, and then I realized, oh, that probably was me, not them. But then I thought, where's the ticket? I don't know. So I just forgot about it. 3 days later, I get another response. We're looking into it. Our programmers think they'll have the problem fixed by tomorrow. We'll let you know. So I don't know if they found another bug in their system or what, because I'm pretty sure they couldn't fix, because I did it. It was not them that did it, right? But I'm thinking then, how many hours have those programmers gone through whatever they had to go through on their back end trying to fix this video that's wrong? And they see the video, they can see that it's wrong, right? So I just, you know, it's just like, who wants that headache, right?
Oh, it can be a real headache for sure. I mean, and you're right. Think of the amount of cost involved for that company to go out there and get their programmers to you know, dig into all of the code to try and figure out what's wrong with it. Meanwhile, there's probably nothing wrong, like you said.
Yeah.
So it's scary. I mean, the thing is, though, and I'm not pointing a finger at you, obviously, Scott, but, you know, just in general, I think low-ticket buyers, they're typically not very committed to their own success. I mean, in fact, I'd say they'd usually prefer to hold you responsible for that, and I think that's why they rarely take any action. I mean, like I said earlier, the more people invest in something, the more they value it, and for that reason alone, I think, you know, as high as 95% of low-ticket buyers, they're never even going to look at your product, let alone, you know, do anything with it. And they're going to expect it to be the answer to all of their problems at the same time. They're not going to look at it, but they're going to expect it to be the answer to all of their problems. And, you know, if your customers don't consume your products and actually take action on what it is you have to offer, they're never going to get that result. And if they don't get that result, you're never going to get that positive feedback and the testimonials, which are so beneficial to you and your business.
That's exactly right.
You okay there?
I'm fine. Just lost my voice all of a sudden.
Well, grab yourself a glass.
All right. I think the water was the problem. I didn't pay enough for it. I got an expensive glass of water, not a cheap one.
There you go. Well, you cleared your throat. You know, I'll just continue on here while you're clearing your throat, Scott, because you know, the one last thing I want to mention about the whole low ticket offer and product funnels is that you know, there's little or no profit to be made, really. I mean, And you know, if everything that we've already talked about was not enough, we need to talk about the money, because in order to make sales, you need to actually have eyeballs on your offer. I mean, we all know that, which means you need to pay for traffic, right? And the thing is, today, with cost per clicks being over $1 a piece, I mean, you need to be a pretty damn good copywriter to convert enough of that traffic just to break even. And then, of course, there's some people that are going to say, well, you know, I do affiliate traffic. I drive all my traffic through affiliates, which is great. But again, with most front-end offers, typically the commission payouts are anywhere from 90 to 100%. So, you know, I understand that, yes, there's going to be some upsells in place, but those upsells typically aren't going to be for tens of thousands of dollars. They're going to be for, you know, $47, $97, $297 maybe, at probably the highest. So, you know, trying to make your money back can be very, very difficult with these types of low-ticket front-end offers. So, you know, I think we've probably gone over quite a few issues here just to get people thinking about what it is they're doing. Again, I wanted to sort of backtrack and say, guys, I'm not saying that tripwires are dead or that low-ticket front-end offers are not the way to go. All I'm suggesting is that you step back and take a look at where your concentrated effort is. It's that old 80-20 rule, right? Are you spending 80% of your time, money, and efforts on the front-end product or on the back-end product where the real money is made? Okay? And then I want you to ask yourself, does it have to be your back-end product, or can you actually start with the back-end product in mind and make that the beginning of your funnel?
Yeah, I think that's always the best way, to start with the end in mind and work your way backwards. And I agree. Like, I know a lot of people that make a decent income, but they're constantly working. They've exchanged one rat race for another rat race, right? Like, I got to get another $7 product out next month, or I am not going to pay my rent. And,
exactly. Yeah.
And
so,
I've never
really
seen anyone with a back end that was very large either. Like, you were actually right. Is like there's all these $7 products or $20 products or $50 products, and then they're going to try and get you into maybe a $90 product or a $200 product.
Right.
And I can see it as a hard grind.
It is definitely a hard grind. And, you know, some people, they already have a big ticket premium package in place that they offer on their back end. The challenge with that, however, though, and again, I'm speaking from personal experience and the people that I've worked with as well as clients, and, you know, only you, the listener, can say how it's working for you, but that's the question you need to ask, is how is it working for you? Because the real challenge is, you know, you get when you bring all your leads in through the top of your typical funnel, and they slowly ascend up through your offers to that premium package at the end, by the time they get to that premium package, most, if not all, of your leads or your prospects have been completely weeded out. I mean, the numbers are so few that the chances of getting people into your big ticket back end are very, very difficult. It's not to say it won't work and that you won't get some, but you're not going to get a lot when you use that type of a model.
So I hear you saying there's a better way to do it.
Well, you know, I think that, I don't know if it's a better way necessarily, but it's a way that's definitely worked better for me and a number of my clients. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if you're sick and tired of working your ass off, practically giving away all of your expertise only to find that your customers rarely take action, while you make a pittance in return, I would suggest you stop doing it and really step back and take a look, because for me and some of my clients, we have found there is a better way. I mean, wouldn't you prefer to work with a select group of action takers, people that are actually going to consume your product and take action and actually implement what it is you're teaching, get those results, and pay you handsomely for it? Isn't that more attractive to you, the business owner?
Yeah. I can remember being up on stage once, and I asked the group, I don't know, it was 200 people in the room or something like that, and I just said, like, how many customers would you love to have? Like, what would be, you know, you'd just be ecstatic if you had? And it was like 10,000, 1,000, 100,000. Someone said 1 million, because they were at this event where it was all think big, right? And,
yeah.
and I said 6. I would be really happy just with 6 really good clients. I don't want any more. And I have 7 really good clients. and I'm just happy. I just got the lifestyle that I want, and I'm very, very happy with my life and with my clients and what I do, and it's great. But we have this concept that we need to have. We see it all the time in Walmarts or Nordstrom's or Sears, if they're still around, where you have hundreds of thousands of people go through turnstiles, and we think, well, that's the way we should be making money. And that's a really hard way to make money.
Well, you bring up a great question, is do you want to be the Walmart of your industry? Because if you're competing on price, I think really what you're inadvertently telling your marketplace is that you're not good enough. You're not good enough to demand a better price, and so you're forced to sell for less. And I think, again, that goes hand in hand. This is just basic human psychology. We all hold things in higher value and higher regard if they cost more. Whether it be true or not, that's up to you to determine. But the fact of the matter is, what I'm saying is, whether it be true or not that the product or service is actually better is up for you to determine. But the psychology behind it is always going to be, if it costs more, it's worth more, and it's better. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah. So nobody ever asks you how much does it cost to make a Porsche. They just know it cost me a lot to buy it. Right? It could cost less than you making a Toyota Corolla or something. But it's going to cost you a lot more if you want to own it.
Exactly. I mean, it's an interesting thing, and that's something that I've been able to help my clients do, is transition from that focus on the low-ticket offer and actually reposition themselves, repackage their offer, and reframe their message so that they can actually leverage what they already have, because they're already experts, right? So if you're already an expert at what it is you do, you can get people the results that they want to achieve. Then that's something that you can truly leverage. Really, it's about repositioning and repackaging yourself so that you can actually sell at a premium price.
Right. So, Glenn, tell me a little bit about, like, who's your ideal client? Because this would be good for everyone. They can model this, right? Because I think that's a big part of it. If my client is the average Walmart shopper and I'm trying to sell a big ticket item, that disconnect is not going to work. So who would be your ideal client?
Well, for me, it would be information marketing experts, people that have some sort of information that they market that they're an expert at, okay? So if you have a product or a service that you've traditionally marketed online, maybe you even have a video training program, right? If you have a video training program, I would consider you to be a coach. Even though you may not be coaching one-on-one or one-on-many, you're coaching through your training programs. And I know, Scott, you just put out a great new program on Udemy. So,
yes.
Just because of that, and I know you do coaching on the side as well, but, if you didn't, I'd still consider you a coach because you put together that training package and you have a high level of expertise at podcasting, right?
Yes.
So because you have that level of expertise, we can actually, in fact, repackage that. The key is, the two key things that you need to have are a level of expertise, and an ability to use that expertise to help your clients or customers get the end desire, or reach the end goal that they desire, okay? And if you can do that, then that's something we should probably talk about. I mean, the thing is, if you really enjoy helping your clients succeed, and you feel that you're getting underpaid, then chances are I can help you turn that around. And I'm talking about literally adding $10,000 to $50,000 per month to your existing income just by repositioning a few things and the sales system that we use, because it's actually much different than those low-ticket front-end offers that we've been talking about. Those are the things that you see on the front end that people, customers, they go online and they can see what other marketers are doing. Selling big ticket it's a bit of a different animal, if you will, but we've really been able to nail that down and sort of crack the code, so to speak, to make it work very much like clockwork. So again, if you're an information marketer, a coach, a service provider who can provide results to your clients, then there's a good chance that we should probably have a chat.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just thinking there's probably a lot of people raising their hands at different things that you were saying, because it's like Lots of people that have good knowledge, but they can't get it out. It kind of reminds me of the elementary school teachers that, they're always, fighting with the government to get more money or whatever, and it's just like, wow, they've got all this expertise and they haven't figured out how to make money with it.
Exactly. I mean, it's sad to see. I mean, it's frustrating too if you're in that position of being an expert and you want to help people and you can help people, but you're struggling to get your message out there and you're struggling to enroll new clients. That's a really tough place to be. It's not very satisfying, right? I mean, especially if you're in that position of a coach who wants to help other people. I mean, that's what you're born to do. That's where you get the greatest reward in your life, is when you're actually helping other people with your expertise. So it's a sad thing to see people when they're not actually able to get paid what it is they're truly worth for that expertise that they hold.
Great. So do you have any stories of people that you've worked with that you'd like to share?
Sure, yeah. I've got a few. A really cool one, actually, is Bill Hugel. Bill is actually formerly, I guess probably 3 years ago now, he was a construction worker, and he wanted to get into the world of information marketing and internet marketing, and so he did. And kudos to him for making it happen, because he really did. Bill's a go-getter. And Bill went out there and he started getting into the Warrior Forum, which is a popular internet marketing forum, learning about internet marketing, and he started to create and sell his own information products. And he was doing pretty well at it. In fact, if you're familiar with the Warrior Forum, there's a good chance you've seen Bill in there before, because he's won numerous Warrior Special Offer of the Day awards, being a top seller in the Warrior Forum. In any case, most of these products that he was selling were low ticket, right? Anywhere from the $5 to maybe $17 range. And so while he was doing really well in the selling of these low ticket offers, and he had built up a certain level of expertise in that arena, he was struggling to make really any significant income. So Bill approached me, and we had a conversation. And after just talking a little bit, we were able to determine a few things that he should be doing. So I brought him on as a client. And basically what happened for Bill is we repackaged his message, and I helped him create his own premium package, really, and showed him how to effectively sell it and enroll new customers and clients. And last year alone, this was his first year doing it, he added $100,000 plus to his income. And nice. The part of the story that I really like so much is he told me that just this previous Christmas, when so many people online are saying you can't sell, which is ridiculous. I mean, ask Walmart or Amazon if they can't sell on Christmas Day or Christmas holidays. I mean, that's the busiest time of the year, but for some reason in our marketplace, a lot of people feel they're not able to sell, that's the slow time of the year. And that's not the truth at all, especially if you have a system in place and something that offers true value to your end user. And so we set that up for Bill, and on Christmas Day, he actually enrolled new clients and added $25,000 to his net profits on Christmas Day alone. So that was pretty exciting to see, because really, for me, I was really stoked for him, because he helped me bust that myth, if you will, that you can't sell around the Christmas holidays. And Bill went out there, really new to the market too, and sold $25,000 on Christmas Day. So I was pretty happy for him.
That's pretty awesome, for sure.
Yeah.
So what would be the next step if somebody says, okay, I've listened to Scott and Glen talking, I want to know a little bit more about how I can maybe take advantage of some big ticket items. I fit the profile of who it is that you're looking for, so what should they do?
Well, yeah, great question. Because I don't work with everybody, like we were saying earlier, you have to have a level of expertise at whatever it is you do, and you have to be in a position that you can actually help your clients achieve their end goal. If that's you, we probably should talk. I want you to know that recently on Facebook, I actually had a post out there, and I've been talking with a lot of people about this big ticket thing, and it's come to my to my awareness that a lot of people understand how important it is to have a premium package in place, that they should be offering some sort of a premium offer to their audience. But and a lot of people have actually tried to do it as well, but they're getting dismal results. And I think that's because a lot of people are trying to reverse engineer what they see other marketers doing successfully online. And the fact of the matter is, what you see on the surface is much different from what's going on behind the scenes, because all of the magic, the secret to making it work, is all really happening behind the scenes. There's a lot of different things going on in order to attract high-paying customers, because I look at it more, it's not so much the push marketing, right? When you think about selling these lower ticket offers, you're often out there sort of pushing yourself on your audience. When you're selling premium offers, the whole thing's completely flipped on its end, and you attract people, you pull them into you, and that's all done through the system in the background. So that said, what I've decided to do is I've put together, or I will be putting together, a coaching program for a small group of people. And that coaching program, it's actually going to be an implementation partnership program where I actually get in there and partner with you and help you build out your entire back-end sales system to sell your high-ticket premium-priced offers. Okay, so I'm going to get in there. There's going to be the accountability and the whole 9 yards. And people are getting pretty excited about that, and I'm excited about it too, because I really like, rolling up my sleeves and getting in there and helping people achieve their own goals. So I know that was a bit of a long-winded response, Scott, but I just wanted to get that out there because that's something new that I'm doing right now, and I'm pretty excited about it. In any case, so the quick answer to your question was, if you're interested, if you want to get a hold of me to see if we can maybe work together, we really do have to get on the phone to have a chat because everybody's situation is a little bit different. But if you reach out to me, you can go to my website, netsuccesssystems.com/chat. netsuccesssystems.com/chat. Okay, lots of S's in there on Net Success Systems. But if you go to that link, you'll find an application form, and that application form is just there to help me determine and help you determine if we're going to be a good fit for working together or not. And then after completing that application form, what we'll do is we'll schedule a time to get on the phone or maybe a Skype call. We'll have a quick chat, and we'll determine if I can help you or not. Okay? And if we both determine together after our conversation that I can help you, I'll extend an invitation for you to work with me. And if we decide on the flip side that, this is not a good fit, I can't help you, that's fine too, no problem whatsoever. We'll just acknowledge that and part way as friends. It's just as simple as that.
Wonderful. Well, Glenn, I want to thank you for sharing this information with me and with everybody that's listening, and certainly my fellow Power Podcasters. It's been great, as usual, and it's good to connect and spend some time with you like on the air as opposed to just chatting on Facebook or on Skype like we usually do.
Definitely.
Before we go, what I was wondering is if do you have like one tip that you could just leave everybody with?
Ooh, in regards to what exactly?
Anything you want.
The big thing I harp on and have always harped on is taking action. It's all about implementing. There's, so many of us today in this world of information we're inundated by information, and we're in that habit of constantly looking for more and more information, thinking that getting more information, doing more research is what's going to get us to that next level. And I would submit that that is not true. We're in a state of information overwhelm. You don't need more information. You don't need to learn more. It's less about input and more about output, okay? So stop worrying about bringing more in and start focusing more on your output, okay? Take action and make it happen. And if you take more action, you're going to see more results.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. And you reminded me of the definition of an expert. An expert is somebody who knows what they don't know, or knows that they don't know, either way, right? In other words, I know all this about this information, about this topic, but there's all of this stuff over here that I know that I don't know. I have to learn. And the truth of the matter is that
conscious incompetence, they call that.
What's that?
They call that conscious incompetence. You're
Right.
consciously aware that you're incompetent at doing something, and so you go out there and you work at it.
Yeah.
Good
Even
place.
if you're way more competent than 90% of the rest of the world.
Yeah. We've got to keep growing.
You got to keep growing. But don't think that you need to learn everything before you go and decide that you're an expert or that you can teach people. Because oftentimes, the really good teachers, they may not know what they're going to be saying tomorrow to their class, and they figure it out the night before, and I've done that. So head over I'm going to put it in the description, the URL, which I believe was, let me get it right.
netsuccesssystems.com/chat.
Yes, and when I edit this video, it'll be across here somewhere too. So thank you, Glenn, for joining us. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate having you on the show with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Scott. Good talking to you.